박수 크게 한번 주시죠.
Well, thank you very much for waiting the last session. The best comes last. Okay, again, thank you very much for inviting me over to this great session. And I take the privilege of helping those people to release their secrets. I'll do my best. The given time is 30 minutes, so each one may have 5 minutes, including me. So
Actually, I think this session is that's very interesting and important. I think we could have a SP plan 30.
no, I have a date. Okay. Right. So I have prepared 2 questions each to esteemed members. I'd like to start with Blockchain Valley Ventures. Right. Actually, we understand that Blockchain Valley Venture is one of the leading accelerator and venture capital and investment financing advisory. So this is total package, very unique form. So let me go straight into your company. So how many companies have you invested so far? And what are your key investment selection criteria? And tell us about a company you have invested and why have you invested?
So there's a lot of questions there, so thank you for the opportunity, and it's really a pleasure to be here in Seoul and Korea and be a part of the blockchain ecosystem here. So thank you for having us, first of all. Just for context, Blockchain Valley Ventures, we're 18 months, 19 months old now, since we started from our inception. What we did was we established an early stage venture fund for doing direct equity investments. So we're not a token fund, we're not necessarily in the crypto side of the business, but really our goal and our vision is to be a trusted institutional face for venture investments and venture activity in the blockchain space. To do this, we really work together with the traditional financial industry. So one of our partners and investors is the former CIO of UBS Bank globally, and therefore I think we have that sort of that touch of the Swiss financial industry to bring this together to really be a trusted institutional partner for blockchain in Europe initially, and now more globally, as I've actually just relocated to Singapore and opening our office there. So what we're looking at, we've done now 8 investments over the past, let's say, 12 months of active investing period. This has been a combination of all industry sectors across both protocols. So we've done one protocol investment where we invested in the base technology. However, I would say our core competence and where we feel most comfortable is in our investment mandate, which is blockchain-enabled business. So really the applications coming on top of base-level infrastructure and technology, which are, from a traditional venture capital perspective, able to quantify and qualify and screen through this process of what makes an attractive company. One example of this is, I think, one of our portfolio companies is Veritrack. It's a pharmaceutical supply chain, let's say, document management system, which really focuses on solving a very specific problem in this space, which is addressing regulations in the pharmaceutical supply chain process. And most people don't realize this, but recalls and let's say, the reason why people return products throughout the supply chain is because of damaged packaging. So it's nothing to do with defects of the product itself. It's really just packaging.
Speak slowly, right?
Apologies, I'm Australian, so native English comes faster. And really understanding that how companies, especially such a regulated industry such as pharmaceuticals and products, can actually benefit from applying a blockchain-based, let's say, audit trail in its documentation and management system. This for us was a key application that makes sense. We understand why blockchain, and it's a business structured as a SaaS business model, which is something a traditional technology investor would also find attractive. And this is why we joined around there together with Plug and Play and Seedcamp and many other leading investors in Europe.
Likely. The reason why I said this is very unique system. New ideas conversed with the conventional practices is a very new, actually, sorry. It's a very new and unique. And they provide advisory services in corporate finance and venture capital as well. Thanks very much. But since you're coming from Switzerland, well, maybe a macro question. what makes you think Switzerland unique compared to peer countries as a hub of blockchain?
Yeah, so I mean, certainly there's a reason why we're based in Switzerland, even though we act globally and certainly see Asia as a prime region for adoption and implementation of blockchain. But Switzerland itself, I think, I mean, for those of you who've been here all day at the conference, I mean, you see with the regulatory environment, you have the penetration of players, so a traditional financial industry, first of all, which is a foundation for what we're talking about in blockchain. Second of all, the willingness of a regulator to issue licenses and bring, let's say, the new wave of banks coming through, so the Signum and Seba Bank. We have fully regulated financial institutions, and there's no surprise where you see, and you've also heard from the Swiss Stock Exchange, EVO previously, you have all of the key market infrastructure and market participants coming forward to work together on building the future. And together with this, with the penetration of traditional industry, working with new entrepreneurs, also venture capitalists coming to work together in the one ecosystem is a powerful combination, which is a recipe for hopefully successful outcomes.
Well, thank you very much. And I would like to open your contact details to those people who are interested in contacting your company.
Absolutely. Always open door policy, and please do come and get in touch. Happy to connect.
So you can contact him. Okay. Thank you. And next, my guest is my old friend, which I bumped into today, Daniel Shin. He's a longtime friend of mine. But I didn't know that he has established a very special company, Kingsbay Capital. I like the name Kings. It's a brick. Oh, it's okay. Can I follow you?
Yeah.
Well, as a brief introduction to King's Capital, this is a very unique company, a Korean global company established in San Francisco and Seoul. So I think they're not just a Korean company, but a Korean global company. They do focus on global cross-border early-stage companies. So let me invite Daniel. Welcome.
Thank you.
Right. What are your key investment strategies, and what are your key prospective areas of investment in blockchain? Straightforward question.
Okay. So I know I'm sitting between long day and also your cocktail, so I'll try to be short. So I have made different hats. I run Kingsbay Capital, but I've been working as a VC for the last 18 years. So I'm directly led about 33 companies under my belt, and also indirectly about 900 companies, because we also get into the LP business, which is investor to venture capital funds. Also, I've been working closely with this German luxury brand called MCM over the last almost 5 years from now. And I also teach at Korean University where Prof also teaches. He's pretty good at connecting everyone. So I was able to meet some of you earlier today. So, Kingsbay Capital, we are fairly industry agnostic, but we have a very strong theme around cross-border. So wherever crazy technology, Israeli, Korean, great R&D, but then market is necessarily not really big enough. So we try to really connect to the larger market opportunity, primarily G2 market, US and China. So that's a core theme of my investment strategy. But more specific blockchain actually is interesting. And I try to put it at the flavorless industry, luxury brand. This is actually where you can sort of find a very, very interesting plot point for the blockchain technology. Because luxury is all about authenticity, and then now industry are under heavy demand for sustainability and traceability. So basically, whenever you can connect to your entire supply chain with a more plausible, cost-effective way to know where things are, because now not only industry really demands this one, but consumer really wants to know where things are coming from. So tax domain, they usually demand is where the raw material source is coming from, with the many different FTA tax barriers out there. So we already have some built of the technology out there, but it's really not decentralized, and then you have to talk every different registration to verify where things are. So that's has been challenged, and also a lot of supply chain and we hope them really to be more digital enabled, but then also challenges I've been coming through over the last 4 years as one of the spearhead person within MCM to bring the digital transformation. A lot of your end mile supplier are not ready there yet. So as an investor, what I can see is that usually luxury industry or retail industry, as by and large, they're fairly slow mover into the market. So now we're sort of getting into that, but this year itself, digital transformation received over $1.2 trillion investment. So a lot of things happening over the market, but I think blockchain is still at the infancy. But a lot of philosophy are trying to claim it, and a lot of other luxury brand peers are trying to pick up. It's basically only task, but I'm sure it will come around soon because the luxury industry has a very strong demand on there too. So hope it helped some of you.
Well,
Answer.
Actually, he has given a very important role. Blockchain is in its infant stage. Yes, no technology survive alone, and the value of the blockchain is creating synergies with the existing industries. Having said that, what do you think of the blockchain converging with conventional existing industries? Take an example. Since Daniel is a global person, share with me about the move of the Leeor. They are trying to improve the many things, to provide financial services, as they proclaim 1.7 billion people who don't have access to financial services. So, what do you think the convergence of blockchain and with the conventional technologies and the prospect going forward?
So I think two aspects, one pro and one con. So I think one pro is an extremely well-connected social network will be a great platform for people to adopt. This one of the newest kind of digital currency. Although still substance is not really clear how far they can go, but basically I think their point of view, I think if you think about your really intangible asset, not only your what you have, what you own, but your actual social currency, if they can convert it into Libra, I think it'll be impeccable impact it will create. That's my sort of hopeful view of the Libra. Also, challenge is always as an investor, one thing you probably wouldn't do is something you go against with a large interest group. So Libra now you literally go against every central bank in the world. So I think not only just trying to govern who's gonna own it, whatever, but I think still Facebook, they are taking a lead, but unless they really create some central neutral venue, I think they will struggle a lot because one thing, IBM also heavily investing into the blockchain space, but then some of the adopter as a client with their real resistance was you guys always talk about decentralization, but then here you are trying to carbonate, you're trying to dominate it, and you're the sort of central service provider. It doesn't make sense. So I think that's the kind of controversial part that Libra has really overcome. But I think in general, I think with all your concept that if you can really connect to the social currency, I think the impact will be huge. But then I think it will take for a while.
Thank you very much. Let me turn the table around to the local focus. We've been talking about global issues now. Korea. We have a unique company called Chain Cabinet. Chain Cabinet is a blockchain startup company investing in early stage company and blockchain companies, and they are blockchain company builder, which I really welcome. Since you are in Korea, I'm inviting Sangjin. Welcome. Actually, what do you think are distinctive opportunities as a Korean for Korean blockchain industry as an investor, and where do you see the investment opportunities are?
Thank you. So Chain Cabinet is basically an early stage investor on startups focused on blockchain technology. And we don't only operate in Korea, but we are based in Korea, Seoul. So we do see a lot of companies in Seoul, also in comparison to companies globally. And I see there are some distinctive points in Korean companies, even from the past, that's more relevant to blockchain technology and companies is that a couple of things. One, we have long history of dealing with digital assets, mainly in video game space, where we have huge video game companies and industry and item resale industry, which is somewhat related to cryptocurrencies. Also, I think Korea is one of the very few countries in Korea where we have large platform services, both national and also regional. Mostly when you look at platforms these days, it's all global players, right? Facebook, Google, WhatsApp. But we do have, Kakao or Line or some other platforms, so successfully, which is national and regional. So I think that's relevant in terms of how we are used to playing in that playing field, which is similar to blockchain. And more recently, especially this year, maybe a little bit last year, if you look at a lot of startups and investment, institutional investments going into the blockchain startups, it's mostly, especially this quarter or this year, layer 2 protocol or DeFi. Everywhere we go, especially when we were at United States last month, that's what everyone's talking about. And I definitely see the value in that. But if you look at Korea's startups and a lot of projects, we do have some layer 2 and DeFi project as well, but we do see a lot of apps, decentralized apps and services, which I like to believe that's where the innovation really happens, through consumers and through a lot of people, which I guess outside of Korea, a lot of people feels like that the infrastructure and the technology is not yet ready for, but I do see a lot of young entrepreneurs really tackling that space. And that's where I'd like to really see the innovations happening. And I guess one of the reasons that's more prevalent in Korea has to do with maybe the investment. Korea also, again, is one of the very few countries that we see a large portion of retail investors, as opposed to institution-driven investment outside of Korea. So I think though with those together, we do see a lot of interesting opportunities in Korea that's unique to Korea that could be very valuable to this industry, because blockchain itself is very cross-border. So you can see those services, customer services that are really going outside of Korea.
Well, that's good. Actually, it doesn't work. She lied to me. Well, Sangjin, you have mentioned very key focuses we have to bear in mind. But compared to as global issues, compared to Korea, China seems to be very active in this blockchain arena. And President Xi is leading this move, and President Xi Jinping made a very strong comment. Blockchain is backbone for China industry. So having said that, in terms of regulations in Korea, as a businessman and as an investor in Korea, what do you think need to be immediately done to improve this blockchain ecosystem and investment atmosphere in Korea?
So I have been in the industry and community and also going to the conferences for past a little bit more than over 2 years. And that question has been coming up from day one. And I think it's still coming up, and unfortunately my answer is still pretty similar to like 24 months back, which is unfortunate to say the least. Korea government sentiment has been pretty clear from the beginning that promote blockchain, but don't touch cryptocurrency or investment,
Right.
which I do see some reasoning behind that. But I think there are many things that we wish could be fixed, and we wish could be the regulations in place. One of the biggest challenges is that we are at limbo, so there is no framework or policy that's really stating what's legit and what's illegal, what's outside of legal boundary. So that has been always challenging, and that's not only issues for Korean government. There are a lot of jurisdictions that without really full understanding and full implementation around blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, digital asset, and legal actions also connected to other countries. It is complex and complicated policy. I totally agree. But I think one thing that we could definitely start is that recognize the digital asset and cryptocurrency as a asset class or investment.
Tangible asset.
and then so that from that point on, we could put the tax or have either financial structure around to it, so that people could we could invest, which could help the entrepreneurs and startup community, as well as for us. When we do invest, all of us do invest in blockchain startups, but we're always competing with or working with the companies outside of Korea. So we at least see it. We want to see like level field, so that we are at the same position. So I think the one thing is your specific question that I wish that's happening first is that we recognize it as a financial asset.
Well, I've been raising voice to the Korean government as a member of National Economic Advisory Council for the President of Korea and blockchain meeting member. But I think he got all the focuses. I have to invite him to the board. Thank you very much for your insight. Now the best comes last. I'm sorry, you're the best. So we have, Ms. Shinhae. Shinhae. She has two hats. One hat as she's a partner of GBIC and also it's an investment company, blockchain. At the same time, she provides help advisory services as a head of the Block 72. Block is not blocking, right? So let me ask you first, what is the uniqueness of GBIC in terms of not only just investment but selection of the companies for potential investment, such as technology or scalability, or what are key points that you're looking at?
Well, so I think GBIC is special because we are based in US, New York, and China, Shanghai, and Seoul here, South Korea. And I think probably technical innovation and breakthrough will come from the Western market. As we all know, that San Francisco and Silicon Valley is where a lot of the initial technical breakthrough are coming from. But China and Korea are very important because that's where the business innovation, real use case adoption will come from. So that's why we are originally based in these three countries, because we believe that these three markets are the most important markets. And
I'm sorry, in what sense do your headquarters thought considered Korea as one of the key spots?
Well, we don't have the headquarters, but we are distributed through US, Korea, and China, as I mentioned. But I think every market is very important, as I mentioned, right? So Korea is very important, as Mr. Sangjin mentioned, that it's very retail focused. Also, a lot of big tech companies are coming in, include Groen, which is the Kakao's blockchain project, Samsung. It was a surprise, right, when they announced the Galaxy with the digital wallet. And now every company, every big corporate was waiting for just one big company to jump into the water, and now they saw that Samsung jump into the water, and then the government didn't say anything, so they are all ready to get into it, right? For example, like LG is preparing for it, and a lot of big corporates. So I think Korea is very important for the mass adoption wise, and China, I think you already mentioned again the mass adoption. But US is very unique because I think US will lead technical breakthrough, as I mentioned, but a lot of regulation thought leadership will come from the US market as well. So I think just blockchain is not, we want to talk about what's the advantage of each region, but blockchain is global by its nature, so we have to take advantage of all regions, and we have to combine effort to move forward.
Well, a combination of the blockchain with the Ethereum leading companies is a good important, I think. Now, I don't want to give you any first impression. Blockchain is jack of trade or magic genie, but I think she has pinpointed the reason why GBIC is in Korea, because we have a strong backbone of companies leading global leading technologies that we can combine with. So we have the chance. But in a small scale, I think there are many people who might be interested to listen from you about blockchain startup companies who want to get your money. What are your advices?
My advice on
Your
doing
company,
startups?
GBIC's advice.
On what? To be a successful project?
Yeah, to get your investment.
To get my investment. That's really depends. I think the blockchain investment is very similar to the startup investment. We look at the team, of course, a lot. And before, I think everyone just invests in vision, but now we want to look at real use case and real business model. Right before you say we're a foundation, we're gonna build a decentralized network for XYZ. But now we want to see how you are gonna actually make use cases. So for example, we invest in a company called Data Labs. A lot of people will know because CryptoKitties was one of their products. And we invest in the company Data Labs just because we really believe in their vision. So their vision was blockchain for billions, and they have been doing a lot of innovation in this space. And CryptoKitties was one, and they actually partner with the NBA, the National Basketball Association in the States, to really create the NFT for the players. And they also partner with creative cloth designer so that they can create the virtual dress, which was already sold at a very high price at the auction. So I mean, it's a very interesting company because they keep trying to innovate and see what works in this world. And so we want to see like what team has and how they can make the business model or make more people to join and use this technology.
Well, thank you very much. I think this is a very good combination. We have a gentleman from Switzerland. So Switzerland is ahead of Korea, and we have listening from him about side in real experiences of investment and cryptocurrency environment in Switzerland. And also a unique company established in a Korean but global company. And also we have very genuine Korean company, but without any limitation to Korea, they're going global, but he has shared very insight about Korean regulatory issues. And also a very beautiful lady, Shinhae, who has two hats, but I think these are really practical. I think that as a privilege of presider, I'd like to invite maybe two questions from the floor, maybe to any of them, if I may. Do you have any questions? No question means two ways. We have done one for job and you understood everything, or you don't understand anything. Any question? No question? I think no question means best idea. Thank you. Really, thank you very much for taking your time to join this session. And thank you very much. I wish you all success. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
오랜 시간 동안 여기 앉아서 끝까지 남아주신 여러분이 너무 감사하고요. 바로 여러분들이 우리나라 블록체인의 시대를 바꿔갈 정말 대단한 분들